Today, we're going to talk about research involving minors. Last 2017, an updated version of the National Ethical Guidelines for Health and Health-Related Research was published under the initiative of the Philippine Health Research Ethics Board, or PHREV. The guidelines seek to ensure that our research protocols are aligned with local, national, and international principles and values in research. They provide specific guidance on research involving human participants in various areas in the health sciences, biomedicine, and biotechnology. Particular to these areas is the special guidelines on minors or children. PHREV defines children as those under the age of 18. As mandated by RA 6809, the age of majority or 18 years old is when the person is emancipated from parental authority and is already capable of signing contracts on their own. It is assumed that the person is already competent enough to understand the repercussions of their actions based on their goals or values. Otherwise, the individual would require the consent of a parent or a legally authorized representative. Research in minors or children is necessary in order to study child-specific diseases or cases that can only be researched well in children, such as pediatric cancer, systemic lupus, erythematosus, adolescent depression, and Down syndrome, among others. According to MRC Ethics Guide, there are diseases without close analogies to children. Many drugs as well vary between children and adults in relation to the doses or kind of medicine required for efficacy. For example, it is more efficient if medicine for children is syrup or liquid rather than tablet. Since research with minors is necessary for the welfare of the community, the least that can be done is to craft specific guidelines in the conduct of research. PHREV's ethical guidelines involving research participants satisfactorily fulfill that role. Some important things it considers are the following. There is a need for the consent of a legally authorized representative, given that minors cannot consent yet legally and are in a vulnerable position. Parents are automatically the LAR unless incapacitated to enter contracts whereby a third party can provide consent. Minors of ages 7 to 11 and 12 to 14 shall give verbal or simplified assent form respectively, aside from the informed consent provided by the LAR. Minors ages 15 to 17 can already sign informed consents similar to those of their LAR. Competency of the child shall also be thoroughly examined, even without the request of a party. Any sign of dissent from the child shall be observed and respected before even while the research is on. It would be primarily thought that minors do not have a say in research participation. This is reinforced by the idea that Filipinos have communal values. Our family members or relatives influence our decision-making capacity because the older people think that their decisions are for the best interest of the child. They can decide for the religious belief, education, career, and healthcare of the child. This practice mirrors paternalism in healthcare, where the healthcare practitioner's decisions for the best interest override that of the patient's interest. Fortunately, the PHREV guidelines on research involving minors acknowledges children's capacity to assent. Assent is a manifestation of the agreement of a minor to participate in a research or clinical trial. It can be either verbal or written, the forms of which provide simple and understandable statements about the research or procedure the child is participating in. In assent forms, the necessary pieces of information are put in the language understandable to children. The National Ethical Guidelines for Health and Health-Related Research provides a template of an assent form for pre-adolescent or young adolescent. It includes the purpose of the research, procedures, risks, benefits, discomforts, and confidentiality, among others. It is reasonably crafted to recognize the autonomy of children, even if arguably they are still constrained by their age to give a competent judgment.